What's that heavily exhausted saying that everybody loves and kind of hates at the same time? Oh, practice makes perfect. No one needs perfection, though. It's an unrealistically high expectation for anyone. And did I not start this series with a little something about being, I don't know, practical, especially when regards to your expectations when you begin your art journey? No. If anything, practice to progress, because you can't progress without practice. And as a new artist, your art is growing. It is a work in progress. But how do you progress? Well, you, as I've mentioned already in just a few short lines, practice. Because practice is repetition. And I have quite clearly repeated practice quite enough already. And probably will continue to do so. Why? Because this is where I unveil my next sacred P to any art beginner. Can you guess what it is? Practice? Practice and practice. Hello, I'm Mo Sugars, an artist illustrator who loves saying the word practice. Maybe too much. Previously, the videos in this series really tried to drive home to any new artist in their journey that they must not only be practical when it comes to expectation and progress, but also remain both positive and patient. I think that understanding not only where you stand now in your journey as a beginner, with the work that you've done and the progress you've made, and being understanding about it through positive patience is absolutely integral to moving forward. Yet to really internalize what you're learning, you have to also practice it. You cannot master a medium in one sitting. Not even the greats mastered their media in a few hours practice. It was a lifetime of practice that saw them become the masters we now regard them as. Your goal may not be to join the ranks of Michelangelo, Rembrandt, or Monet, or any modern great living in our generation. Your goals don't have to be, but even the artists you admire, practice. Yet how do you practice in a way that encourages progress in your journey, your growth, and confidence as an artist? Well, there are plenty of ways, but I'll just mention some that I've personally used for now. Here are some of my ideas. The number one thing you should start doing? Practice by drawing every day. You can simply draw just to draw, or draw to practice. I recommend this one, but ultimately it's up to you. Remember, this doesn't have to be hours and hours. Odds are you have a life beyond making art, friends, family, school, jobs, and other responsibilities that need your attention. Instead, think about setting some time aside out of your daily routine specifically and only for drawing. It could be for 5 minutes or even an hour. Really, the choice is yours when it comes to how long you want to dedicate your time to drawing daily. Try drawing daily too in a place where you can create uninterrupted and free of distraction. Yes, that means setting aside your phone, at least when you're getting started and you're just practicing. Phones are indeed great for finding and acquiring references to inform your art and creative process, but they, as we all know, can be horribly distracting. So for now, put your phone and other distractions aside and simply draw. Keep 1 or 2 sketchbooks or more. Whoever said you can't have too many sketchbooks? I have shells drowning in them. Sketchbooks provide a great place to simply draw. Think about keeping 2 sketchbooks. One dedicated to freely drawing whatever you desire. The doodles, the scribbles, the messes, the things you'd never really want to share with the world. This sketchbook in particular is your space to be free in whatever you want to draw. The second sketchbook, then, should be reserved for the practice that is more structured. What do I mean by structured? I mean the practices where you learn the basic principles and elements of art, the foundations such as line, form, composition, light, and so on. Apply what you've learned in practice drawings. It doesn't matter how badly you think these practices and exercises might turn out. Just simply practice drawing them. A note of that sketchbook too. Not only could you use it for your structured practice or when you practice your lessons and exercise and you apply the foundations, you might also want to consider using this one for observational drawing. Drawing from observation has been one of the most surefire ways that I've gotten better at art. It's allowed me to really study the physical world, translate what I see to a piece of paper, and has aided me in drawing from imagination too. I observe the real world to create my own in art. I found that my confidence, whether in my mark making or in my skills, has increased too. So go ahead and practice drawing from observation every day, if you can. Time it too. Perhaps you spend no more than 5 to 10 minutes on a single drawing before you move on to the next. Once that time is up, move on. Try it out in the world too. Maybe at a restaurant, at school on your break, at the park, or wherever the world is for you. Observational drawing allows you to really study what you see. Study how people move and how they dress, and how light and structure interact. None of it has to be perfect or a masterpiece, or even seen. For this, you're just practicing observation. And observational drawing is just another way you can practice. How can you practice? By challenging yourself. For one, you can come out of your comfort zone. You explore new techniques, new methods, new media, and new skills by challenging yourself to try them. Challenge yourself to apply them to your art, not just the exercises in the practice art. Go ahead and try things you normally wouldn't too, without overwhelming yourself. Not great at drawing circles and ellipses? Have at it. No good with perspective? Get going. Figures looking wonky? Get out and draw some people. Identify the skills you lack, then challenge yourself to learn and conquer those skills. Study the foundations of art, the principles and elements of art and design, especially the ones you find challenging. Study the techniques of other artists. Study their art. That certainly can be a challenge too. Play with those new techniques, methods, and media, and practice with them. Then when you practice those new techniques and such for yourself, you become more familiar with them, and the challenge might not be so challenging anymore. You may even become a little more confident too. You repeat when you practice. What happens when you keep repeating something you've just learned, rose to that new challenge? You tend to remember it. Then move on to the next challenge. If I haven't repeated it enough, new artist, you must practice when you set out on your journey in art. Practice the new things you learn when you challenge yourself, and study the foundations too. Practice by drawing every day, even if you can only practice for a few minutes, and dedicate a few sketchbooks for all your practices and daily drawings. Practice by observing and familiarizing with the world around you, and draw what you see. Practice by studying the artists you like, and try out their methods, techniques for yourself a few times, even if it's a challenge. Just practice, practice, and practice some more. You'll definitely grow and become confident as an artist, and that journey in art might just get a little more exciting. If you liked this video, please drop a like or leave a comment below about how you like to practice. Until next time, thank you, make art, and have fun.